In first year in power in Ontario, Conservatives cut 227 clean energy funding projects, 758 renewable energy contracts, and cap-and-trade program that would have made the province $3 billion, skipping public consultation process.
Here's a summary of the article.
On the day Premier Doug Ford pulled Ontario out of an international clean energy trading market, it spelled the end for 227 emissions-reducing projects across the province, reveals a leaked document. A full list of the cancelled projects assembled by a government source, based on information obtained through their role and through multiple information requests, was shared exclusively with National Observer, detailing a breakdown, by municipality, of the $2.9 billion fund the province had collected through the cap-and-trade agreement, revealing that those most affected by the cancellation were students, low-income Ontarians, municipalities and commuters. According to the list obtained by National Observer, the 227 cancelled projects amounted to about $1.88 billion allocated to projects in municipalities. A second source familiar with the file said the sum didn't account for more than $240 million allocated outside the 227 projects for industries, small and medium businesses and Ontario's food and beverage program. Over 17% of the cap-and-trade fund went to transit providers to facilitate a shift toward clean energy vehicles, according to the list. Only Brampton and 3 central Ontario cities lost their 2018-19 funding when cap-and-trade was cancelled in November 2018. In Ontario, the cancellation of cap-and-trade is shown as lost revenue in the Ford government's first budget.
This post received a score of 39,442, with an upvote ratio of 87%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
They are just warming up.
And now we're all warming up, my dude.
Ha ha ha, good one. Oh god, we're so fucked.
Part of my job is talking to managers in the Ontario government every day. They almost every single one hates the Ford government. Ford said he would reduce spending without firing, but what he's doing is giving people incentives to quit. The ranks of almost every department is drastically reduced now.
How fucking stupid are the voters that put him in place? Didn't his brother smoke crack with hookers on camera while mayor of Toronto? And then die of a heart attack? And voters were like, yay, we need more of that family in office.
In our defense, Toronto hasn't voted that hard orange since the Ray days, so for once it wasn't our fault.
Yeah, blame rural Ontario for this one. Toronto knew what a fuck up he'd be.
Also first passed the post system for splitting the progressive vote. My riding had way more votes for NDP plus Libs combined than Conservatives, but because neither had quite enough to beat them on their own, we went blue.
Shit like this is why I'm so mad as BC people failed to vote in proportional representation. Twice. I don't understand why people think it's a bad thing.
Ontario voted against it in a referendum as well. It's fucking baffling.
Just look at that fucking idiot.
That guy looks like William Barr wearing Donald Trump's skin.
He looks like a bad Biff Tannen impersonator. That's what doctors call a shit-eating grin.
I call it that too sometimes, but I'm not a doctor.
How can a fucktard like that be elected, please explain?
Spite. People weren't voting for this candidate, they were voting against the other one.
Conservatives voted him leader of the party before they voted him premier.
Yeah, WTF was with that?
Name recognition basically.
Let's not also forget that while claiming we didn't have money for these things, Ford decided to end a contract with the beer industry so he could force his buck of beer and other really stupid rules on where you can sell alcohol through. Breaking this contract cost taxpayers over $1 billion. Probably more money than all the green initiatives combined would have cost to implement. Why do we keep putting malicious idiots into positions of power?
Not to mention that buck of beer refers to the legal minimum price. As far as I know, the only brands that have gone that low are the President's Choice Series, Lager, Cerveza, 2.5 grams, Dry, etc., and Cool. And they only do it on long weekends to ramp up sales.
Also Barley Days out in Peck did for the first long weekend or two. Loon Lager.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.